जिसका ताज है हिमालय, जहाँ बहती है गंगा, जहाँ अनेकता में है एकता, सत्यमेव जयते जहाँ नारा है, वह भारत देश हमारा है, वह भारत देश हमारा है। A wonderful morning to you all. I, Siddhant Kadu from class 9A. Today I am here standing for speak about freedom struggle. Today we are proud citizens of free India because of various freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and others some important leaders. But it was not easy to do India as independent and free from British rule. This is the story before of 1947, the story of India's independence, the story of shackled days and shifting nights. The story of those countless freedom fighters on whose shoulder India stood the witness of dawn of independence, 1857. The cruel, vicious and oppressive faces of the British colonial imperial was East India Company. The company provides sepoys with a new Enfield rifle. The cartridges had to be peeled off by teeth, and this went against the religious sentiments of Hindus and Muslims, because the cartridges were doomed to be greased with animal fat. In these circumstances, to oppose the British, the first Mughal call of the historic revolt of 1857 was given by Mangal Pandey. That indicated the power key, and soon enough, the whole country was blazed with revolt. Delhi, 1857. Sepoys from Meerut reached Delhi to proclaim Kadu Shah Zafar as the Emperor of India and lead the revolt under his banner. Bengal, 1905. Now, the British government, a stronghold on Indian consequence to divide and rule and strike at the heart of Hindus and Muslims unity, the British government announced the partition of Bengal. But little did the British government known after some time that the peoples were involved in rally cry of the Swadeshi movement, and it would be echo in every corner of the country, addressing that all things of the British would be by God, all things of the British would be by God. In the other side of the country, Bombay, 1905, in the same year, leaders were spreading ideas of nationalism and Swarajya, spreading thoughts like Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. But after some time, the leaders of the Swadeshi movements were arrested by the British government and the movement was slowly beginning to fall. But in Champarian 1917, a new light dawned on the horizons of India's freedom struggle. First, Mahatma Gandhi came to India and firstly started the Satyagraha, bringing relief to the peasants who were suffering due to the indigo plantation. And now, in Mahatma Gandhi, 1920 to 1922, Mahatma Gandhi lead non-cooperation movements, it stands to Swarajya and establish self-governance. But in between protesters and police, some peoples were mostly killed, and Mahatma Gandhi was completely shaken by violence and he withdrew the movement. But after some time, the Mahatma Gandhi ultimately launched the Quiet India movement for final withdrawal of the British. He gave a mantra to nation, do or die, do or die. Within a few hours of this declaration, Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and other some important leaders were arrested by the British government. In other side of the country, in the brutal British oppressive spaces, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose formed a lethal force in Japan, Malaya and Burma. The Azad Hind Fauj, the National Army was formed. National Army fighting with a Japanese army against British in Battle of Imphal and Battle of Uhumi. But when the Japan defected in Second World War, the glorious dream was scattered and the Azad Hind Fauj was disbanded. But all protesters, all peoples, all leaders were taken together, and on 15th August 1947, a movement which comes rarely in history, when you step out from old to new, when an age ends, and the long age of the suppressed and its fight eternity. It is the fitting that all of the Swaraj movement will take the pledge of dedication to the service of India, and its people will cause of humanity. And finally, India was independent on 15th August 1947. This was the great story of freedom struggle of various peoples and freedom fighters. From this story, we can learn so many things like unity. First, peoples were not taken together, so this was not happened. Second, leadership. If the Mangal Pandey, Mahatma Gandhi, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose were not taken the leadership and the leadership, it does not happen also. Third, planning and organization. Well, planning and organization also matters in it. The plans were failed, but it was not very easy to do India as independence. Fourth, Fourth, right decision. Right decision always is a right, because if the Mahatma Gandhi, Mughal party did not take a right decision, so the India was another path on this time. Fifth and the last, stand up against violence. This was the main key. If Mughal Pandit not stand up against violence and injustice in the front of East India Company, so it was not happen. That was the reason. Stand up against the violence and injustice. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai. Thank you all.